Hi everyone, welcome to a new devlog. My name is Danny Marti and I am a game dev and a 3D artist. I'm currently working on my project Lobo, a story-driven action-adventure game inspired by games like The Last of Us and Diablo. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I call my game Lobo. Lobo is a Spanish word that means wolf in English. And I like this name for several reasons. The main reason is because it's related to the storyline of the game. And I like it because it's short and it's easy to pronounce in almost any language. On the other hand, because it's so short, I feel it's gonna be easy to use in any marketing material, especially if I use like bold and bigger fonts, where even in like very small thumbnails, it's gonna be still readable. So this is another thing that I think it's important to have in mind when we are like naming like anything. It can be a video game, a product, a program, anything. I feel it needs to be easy to say, easy to read, and easy to understand. On the other hand, Lobo is such a generic word that I think it's open to interpretation and can be a hook to attract players to the game. So yeah, let me know what you think about the name in the comments. I'm very interested to see what you think. So as you can see, I have been working in different stuff this last month. And that's like a new environment. We have a new house. That's the house where we live. There is a tower there as a point of interest. And then we have all of this like forest. So I'm gonna show you how I do my models. So maybe you can get some tips there for your own workflow. Let's go jump into Blender. So as you can see here, I have all the pieces for the house. It's all modular. You can see I have all the walls, all the pieces that make the house. So I can reuse all of these pieces to make more houses, because in the game it's gonna be a little town. So I'm probably gonna reuse all of that to make more houses. And here I separated all the models for the interior of the house. So we have some beds and a sofa and some doors, a kitchen, etc. Regarding the texturing, I wanted to show you really fast how I do my textures. So as you can see, I use Substance Painter for the texturing, and the textures are a mix of obviously different, like for example, let's go to a door or something that has more interesting stuff. So this is a door. So I have several layers. So I have metal, I have wood. This is kind of simple. I have a filter for dirt that makes, you can see, it really makes pop the door. And then I have like this is very subtle, but I have some like damaging or like worn wood here. And these materials are a mix of materials from Quixel and a mix of materials from the Substance Painter source. So if you have Substance, you're gonna have, as you can see, I have here I have 576 credits. So if you have Painter, you're gonna have some kind of credits, and then you can download any of those materials, and they have a big library. They have a big library of materials. So combining those materials with the Quixel materials gives you like a big like library of options, so you can create like really cool stuff like these beds, and well, all of that. So just quickly show you all my models. So this is the interior of the house. You can see we have here one bedroom. That's the bedroom of Harley. Harley is the player, the name of the player. And yeah, I have a name for him too. Then we have a bathroom, very simple. Maybe I need to put a mirror there. Then we have grandma's bedroom. And finally we have the living room. We have a sofa there, some books, the fireplace, the kitchen, and of course we have grandma. She looks at us, follows us, and she has some facial expressions. She blinks very slowly. Table, and then obviously a door. So let me show you other elements of the environment. This tower is a passage in the mountains that communicate the two valleys. So this valley is where the game starts, where there is a little tutorial, and where we are gonna have some quests, but basically the main part of the game happens in the next valley once we enter this tower. And this tower, it's not just a tower, it's a dungeon that yeah, we're gonna face some challenges there. So in the same way, I wanted to show you how this tower looks in Blender. So here you can see the tower, and this approach is a little bit different. I didn't probably use that modular approach, but I still have so here you can see the wall that I use as a modular wall to build the whole tower. The only difference is once I was happy with the final design, I merge all the meshes, and yeah. On the other hand, I wanted to show you a quick overview of my process when creating environment, and this is a trick that maybe you can use for your own design, and I think it can be very useful. So the way I built the house and the tower, it's a mix of my own meshes, like you can see here in Blender, but I use the Megascan textures. So the way I did that, it's I look for a texture for the castle wall, for example, castle wall, and then here I think I use this one. So I downloaded this material, and then when you download the material and you get the three textures, this is the albedo or the color, the normal, and then here you have the occlusion, the roughness, and the displacement. I exported this texture, so I opened this texture in Photoshop, and I went to the channels, and what I wanted to grab is the displacement. So I grabbed this channel, save it as an image, so then I can jump in Blender. Here I'm going to show you a quick tip how to use displacement textures in Blender. I have seen people doing it inside in Unreal, but I think it's if you use Blender, I think it's easier to create your models here. It's easy to edit, and then you can create even more complex structures. So the first thing we want to do is do a quick unwrap of this, and I'm going to explain in a second why. So here I just did I just add seams to all my edges, and I'm going to do an unwrap. And the most important thing of this unwrap, it's that we want the two main faces to use the whole space, and this is because as we are gonna use the displacement of the texture. So what I do here, I'm gonna show you very fast how I usually work with this. I have this add-on enabled. It's called the UV Packmaster. I will leave the link in the description. This add-on, it's you have to pay for it, but I think it's worth it because it helps to, for example, I'm going to show you here. What it does, it uses all the available space, so your UVs use most of the space possible. That means giving more quality to your models. So if I do pack, it has a very powerful algorithm that tries to use most of the space of your UVs. But in this case, I'm not going to use it this way. What I want to do is do the opposite, kind of. I want to use all the space for this face, then all the space for the other face, and it doesn't matter if it overlaps, because these UVs are just meant to, well, yeah, for the texture as well, but this is for the displacement. And I'm gonna pack those. So as you can see, with those four, it tries to use the whole space, which is very good. So once we have this basic unwrap, we can come here. I'm gonna add a multi-resolution modifier, and here that's one of the second most important things. We want to subdivide by using simple. So we are gonna add some subdivisions here, 5, and then we can go upper later. And then I'm gonna add a displacement, and as you can see, that's a weird thing. But then I'm gonna do a new texture, and then we are gonna load that displacement that we save. And okay, so once I have my displacement texture, you can see this looks horrible, but let's fix it. So on the displacement modifier, we want to use coordinates, we want to use UV. That's why it's very important the way we unwrap the model. Then we want to use our UV map, and then for the strength, let's do 0.1, and that we can adjust that. And as you can see, we can start to see some stuff. Then let's add more resolution here, because right now we are just at 6,000 faces, so we can add more resolution. And as you can see, well, that's a lot, but that's a million and a half. But as you can see now, we have our wall. And the good thing about that is now we can use this to build more complex structures. We can even, like, another super good trick that another trick that I think is very interesting that I want to show you very fast. We can reuse this wall. And obviously, because the texture is meant to be seamless, our walls are gonna be seamless as well. But then let's say, oh, we want to create a window here. So I can come, I'm gonna add a very quick, like a square window from here. Let's do this. And then I'm gonna add a Boolean. Choose this one. Then it's gonna take a little bit because obviously we are working with a lot of vertices there. But then if I hide the cube, we have a window. So this is just a very quick tip that I wanted to share with you, because I think it's very interesting, especially to take advantage of those super nice materials and textures inside Quixel Bridge, or just inside Quixel. Here I wanted to show you the grandmother model, and as you can see here, there is a photo of a real person, and this is my mom. So I'm using my mom as one of the main NPCs, and this is the model I built using her as a reference. And yeah, I'm gonna be using family and some friends for the main NPCs of the game, and I think it makes it very special. Not just for me, but for my friends and family and people that can appreciate that. So to create that model, I use Character Creator, and Character Creator has a really cool feature that it's the headshot that helps you to create a model based on a real person. It's not automatic. It requires kind of some work, manual work. It doesn't do the hair. I made the hair in Blender, but you can see, I mean, I feel like the model it's pretty nice. And then we can, for example, add like let me show you, for example, a walking, so we can see her in movement. So all the clothing was made in Marvelous Designer, then it was fit to the model in Marvelous Designer and Blender, textured in Substance Painter, and yeah, finally I put all together here in Character Creator and use the plugin to bring it to Unreal. Regarding the character creation or my process to create characters, and the new workflow that I'm using with Character Creator and iClone, it's because here it's very easy to add lip sync, and for me that was a very important thing, mainly because the game it's gonna be story driven and it's gonna be a lot of dialogues, and I wanted my characters to look a little bit more real and show some expressions or emotions. So here I can show you, for example, a couple of lines that I have for a dialogue.
Good morning. Good morning.
So now that I show you all the new updates, let's see how I put all of that together. The game is gonna start here in Harley's bedroom, and it's gonna start just like a normal day in their lives. Even if their lives are not normal, but, well, you know what I mean.
It smells incredible. I'm intrigued by Grandma's morning cookie.
So here we got the first quest, and in the house is gonna be a couple of quests. And they are gonna be very simple and almost silly, and it's just part of the tutorial to show you how quests work. So we can check our quests on the quest log, and yeah, it says, well, greet grandma with a warm good morning. Okay, so let's do that. And this is the cozy living room. There is grandma there, and as you can see, I'm very happy with the following of her head and her body. I think it looks very realistic. So let's try to leave the house without saying anything.
I can't leave without first greeting Grandma with a warm good morning.
So yeah, we're gonna leave the house because it's part of the quest. So let's go talk to grandma.
Good morning.
Good morning, Grandma. Did you sleep well?
I did, thank you. And you? Any bad dreams?
Same old nightmare.
These voices that you are hearing are made with Replica, and those are AI generated. In the future, I would like to replace them with real voice over actors. So I think that would make a big difference in the game.
Don't worry. Nightmares can feel real, but you're safe here.
I know.
I made your favorite lunch, mushroom pie.
So we got another quest.
Yummy! Thanks, Grandma!
Those were the last mushrooms. Are you going to the forest to get more?
Yeah, I'm heading there now.
And another quest.
Your parents would be so proud of the young man you have become.
So the talk to grandma quest was completed. Let's check the quest log. So we have grab lunch. We have to grab the mushroom pie, and then we have to gather 5 mushrooms. Okay. Well, let's try to leave the house now.
I can't leave without a slice of that delightful mushroom pie.
Well, we need, obviously, as part of the quest, we had to grab the pie before leaving the house, so that's why we cannot leave yet. Let's grab the mushroom pie.
Delicious pie.
And our quest got updated. Okay, so now, we can leave. So one of the main things I work in this level and the level design was to have that point of interest at the very beginning when we leave the house, because even if it's not accessible right now, it's the main thing to do in this level. It's gonna be like our final goal for this level. So I wanted to show it to the player from the very beginning, so we know that we are working towards that, even if we don't have a clue right now. So here we have our first mushroom. Let's see what happens. It's a poisonous mushroom though.
Don't be fooled by its innocent appearance. That mushroom's up to no good.
So I added these comments that the character makes when interacts with the environment, objects, and NPCs, because I think that helps to create an attachment and to know the personality of the character. And I think this is very important for story-driven games where we need to create a relationship with the character and get attached to them.
According to Grandpa, the old wet stump was the cherished gathering place for the yummiest mushrooms.
So that sentence, it's one of the examples where the AI doesn't do a good job. It's very long. The words are a little bit complicated and I feel it's a little bit messy, but as I said, those are gonna be placeholders, so by the moment I think it works well. I don't know if you noticed, but when we entered this part of the forest, it got very foggy. So here we are supposed to find the 5 mushrooms, and as our grandpa said, they are gonna be next to a stump, so we should look for stumps. And not to be spoiling the game, but obviously in this part of the forest that got like so creepy right now, some things are gonna happen. So we found our first mushroom and I'm just gonna pick one and...
This mushroom is a gastronomic masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one and show you a couple of things while the quest got updated. So here we have our inventory with the mushrooms, even the poisonous mushroom. And then the quest got updated. And you can see the ones that were completed are now grayed out, and you have this quest has been successfully completed message. So that's so far what I wanted to show you today. It has been a lot of progress in this last month, a lot of work, but yeah, I'm very happy with the result. I hope you like this devlog, and if you have any comments, any suggestions, please leave them below in the comments area. Subscribe if you like this kind of content, and yeah, thank you so much for watching and see you soon.